Over the past few years, I've seen a lot of discussion about which franchises Nintendo considers to be their main franchises. This especially was relevant when Nintendo revealed their promotional material for their retail stores. And one of the most defining pieces of promotional material featured 5 franchises: Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and Pikmin. This is what most consider to be Nintendo's Big 5, the 5 franchises that they supposedly care about the most. These are the franchises that were added to Nintendo Alarmo first, and are the themes on Nintendo today. Pokemon likely isn't included in this, because it is somewhat of a separate entity, despite being partially owned and published by Nintendo. Most of these franchises are Nintendo's heavy hitters, and Pikmin just kind of tags along too, probably because Miyamoto likes to incorporate them everywhere, despite the games not selling extremely well, and I definitely respect that, since I love the Pikmin franchise, and I like Nintendo to kind of incorporate them into different things. And then, franchises like Metroid, Star Fox, Xenoblade, and Fire Emblem also aren't included, but that's likely because they don't have as wide of an appeal worldwide, while also aren't developed in-house, at least not anymore. I do love these franchises, and it is unfortunate that a lot of the time Nintendo kind of treats them as lesser franchises, but I can kind of understand why they're not considered a part of their big main franchises. So it is unfortunate, but I can kind of understand why they do that. And then it seemed for a while that Kirby was also excluded from the Big 5 as well. And I suspected it was partially due to the same reasons as Pokemon, with it kind of also being considered HAL's franchise. But interestingly, it now seems like Nintendo has actually been giving the Kirby franchise that status lately. It seems like they're including Kirby a lot more alongside their other main franchises. Like recently, Kirby got a theme on Nintendo Today that has some really cool and cute animations each day. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land also got a Nintendo Alarmo theme recently that includes some of the songs from Starcrossed World. Kirby also has a pretty big presence in the Switch 2's launch year as well, with 2 exclusive releases: Starcrossed World, which was one of the most substantial Switch 2 upgrades, and Kirby Air Riders, which seems to be the biggest Kirby spin-off we've ever gotten. Kirby Air Riders, in particular, is fascinating, as Nintendo and HAL wanted to get Sakurai to direct a new Kirby Air Ride game. This is a pretty big deal, since Sakurai hasn't developed a new Kirby game in over 20 years, actually since the original Kirby Air Ride, and he's one of the most respected developers in the gaming industry. So having him return to the franchise now, at least for one game, is a pretty big deal, and it shows that Nintendo really cares about Kirby. It seems like both Nintendo and HAL have some pretty big plans for the Kirby franchise, as this is really the first time Kirby has been pushed out quite a lot for the release of a new console. Like, with the Switch 1, we didn't get a new Kirby game until about a year in, like actually a little over a year in with Kirby Star Allies. And then the 3DS didn't get anything until Kirby Triple Deluxe. The Wii didn't get anything Kirby related until Kirby's Epic Yarn, several years in. So it really seems like they're doing quite a lot more with Kirby this time around. So I'm pretty excited to see their plans. And it seems like we'll probably get a pretty substantial mainline game in a couple years. And Starcrossed World is just kind of preparing for that. And it makes a lot of sense why Nintendo would push Kirby as one of their larger franchises now. Kirby and the Forgotten Land sold very well at over 7 million copies. The only games selling more copies on the Switch 1 are franchises in the Big 5 and Pokemon. And 7 million is also more than games in comparable franchises like Sonic, so I feel like Kirby is doing pretty well right now. Kirby is also one of the best-selling Nintendo franchises in general, only being beaten out by massive franchises like Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, Animal Crossing, the Wii series, and Smash Bros. I feel like Kirby is definitely kind of inching its way up there. And Kirby is also just one of the most recognizable video game characters in general. Many people who have never played a Kirby game before still know who Kirby is. And this isn't just in Japan. I feel like Kirby is definitely gaining a worldwide appeal, at least in North America and Europe. I feel like Kirby is definitely becoming more popular, so it definitely makes sense why Nintendo would push Kirby alongside franchises like Mario, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon, because I feel like it's definitely getting there now. But yeah, I think it's pretty exciting that Nintendo is finally treating Kirby as one of those major franchises, and on top of mainline titles, I feel like we could get even more large-scale spin-offs comparable to Kirby Air Riders or Mario spin-offs. I would love to see a Kirby RPG at some point. I just think that would be incredible. But I feel like Nintendo being open to adding more franchises within their Big 5, or I guess now Big 6, if they consider Kirby as one of those main franchises, I would love to see Donkey Kong be included within those main franchises as well. Since we just got Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is on the scale of a 3D Mario game, and we're getting a Donkey Kong movie by Illumination fairly soon. But anyways, let me know what you think of Kirby becoming a main Nintendo franchise, and what other Nintendo franchises would you like to see elevated to that status? But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!